Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, and welcome to this instance of the Antrea community meeting. Today is September the 10th, and for today in the agenda, we just have a general update on the status of the Antrea 2.2 release, 2.2, that will be given by Lan. Lan, please go ahead.
Hey, hello everyone. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let me check. Open PRs and issues. Our next release will be 2.2, and our release date will be October 25. It's the new date. And in this release, I will simply run through this list. So it only take a few minutes. I'm not sure Anthony will join or not. He mentioned he'd like to talk one issue. Yeah, but maybe we can wait. I think for 2.2, there are two major changes or features. One is for the packet capture feature. It's actually adding more advanced feature in TraceFlow to enable user to do some live tracing and capture the packages through the TraceFlow. Actually, it's not truthful. It's actually a new API. So the PR is already created, and the house will actually working on that and also address those comments. And another, I think, is for the BGP and the Kato command support. I think Renish, do you want to update this a little bit with more details?
Yeah, so antctl command, we are currently going to support 4 antctl commands. So getting like BGP policy and then data from BGP server and majorly like which will be used by user. So to start with, so these 4 we have listed currently. Getting BGP peers and then getting routes based on peer. So we had further discussion on it, and yeah, we are going.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. As you know, the BGP feature is introduced in last release, which is 2.1. And in this release, we would like to introduce some CLI command, so which can help users to leverage the command line to do more control and management. And I think there are also a few CI-related changes. One is for example, the Flex IPON test on Kant, which will help to reduce our, that our test Jenkins resource are reduced, and we would leverage more Kant test beds to run our test cases. This one, I think, is postponed from the last release. I think it should be ready for this release.
Yeah, actually, this is approved now. So I think it will go to March also. Yeah.
Okay, great. Good news. And okay, this one I think is for ACMP, and we discussed this a little bit in one community meeting, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think the most recent status will be some internal sync up last week, but yeah, I think for this one, there's already a PR open for this actually, and it's a work in progress PR though. But I feel like it's already like 80% complete, and I'm pretty confident that we can make this PR ready for review before the end of this week. So I don't feel like there's any sort of risks of having this included in the next release.
Okay, great. Thanks. And okay, this one I think is not started, right? We like to have more support for the egress feature.
Yeah, currently it is work in progress.
Okay, thanks. This one is actually an issue, but these 2 weeks we haven't had any new progress. Check later for the details. And Next one is, sorry, Han, can you mute yourself? Hello, Han. One thing, and next is the node policy with login support. This one is already PRs ready and maybe close to merge, I guess, which is owned by Hongliang. Okay, this one. Okay, this one is also PR, I guess. Let me double check. But I think it's for Kubernetes upstream feature parity. Oh, I saw. Oh, it's a quite old one. Anthony, do you know this one? Let me check what the release status. Okay, looks like you have some comments.
Yeah, I don't think Kongliang replied to my comments yet.
Okay.
But I took a quick look. I think either Chen or Wenying should take a look if possible.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. I guess there should be no risk for this release, right? The next release.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Okay, thanks. Okay, this one, I think it's for the Go BGP client CLI to have in our image, right?
Yeah, correct. So we are going to add GoBGP client binary to the image so that when GoBGP daemons are running, the client can connect and they can get debugging information.
Yeah, okay. Thanks. I think should be no risk about.
Yeah, actually the PR is already approved. So
oh, okay.
Chan also need to have a look at it.
Okay, so thanks. Okay, besides those open PRs and issues, we actually already have some issues and PRs being resolved and merged. One thing is that we actually upgraded Go to the latest version, which is 1.23. And we also support the traffic distribution in the entry proxy. And I think, okay, this one is actually to improve the validation. And okay, I think some highlights might be PRs and issue worst highlight is those with the tags or labels with action release notes. I'm not sure. I guess there might be some PRs missed these labels. If you think your PRs need to be included in the release log, please added this label so we can have we can have these PRs and changes in our release log. And yeah, I think this one is use default protocol. So it's I think it's also for the truthful improvement. Looks like our it's owner. Who's the owner? Okay.
Yeah, actually this was fixed for like destination service is not available, then how to use it, like what is the default behaviors
Yeah.
while doing test flow.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I think there are actually also a lot of the improvements in our closed PRs and issues. Let me check if anyone was to highlight. Maybe we can go through the items with release notes. This one is to support the random pooling for IP tables. I think, Anthony, you may know the details.
Yeah, this one has been merged. It's just the ability to fully randomize source port selection when we do SNAT or when we masquerade traffic. So it was requested by a user. And I think in some cases, probably actually with older Linux version too. This can help avoid some bugs in Kubernetes. So basically, it was a user request, and we added the ability to enable it in the Antrea config, and then when it's enabled, we'll pass that flag to IP tables when we add roles. And I think in the future, we may even want to consider making it the default behavior. Because Chan mentioned, and that's also what I observed. I think kubeproxy actually uses it by default in SNAT roles.
Okay. Thanks for the charge. Next, it's this one I think is just a feature party to support the service traffic distribution. And next is the uniform, the ID selection for IPv4 and IPv6. Next, I think this is some validations for the node policy. But I'm not sure what the details about node validation. Maybe
Yeah, so
okay, Ranish, okay.
yeah, so this was like when logging was enabled, right? So for node network policy, there's no logging. So then if it is enabled, logs are not coming. So that for that validation has been put. And
okay.
yeah.
So I think no policies the login support is added later.
Yeah, it will be added
after
later.
this
Yeah.
trend. Yeah. Okay, got it. Thanks. Okay, I think that's all for the release update so far. Thanks. Let me stop sharing. Anthony, maybe you can go ahead with the issue you'd like to discuss.
Yes, sorry, I can share my screen. It's just like a quick thing I wanted to discuss. Let me find the tab. Here we go. Actually, let me start at the issue. So like a couple of weeks ago, when I was working on upgrading the version of Suricata we use in Antrea from Suricata 6 to Suricata 7, because Suricata 6 is no longer maintained. It's been deprecated. So we needed to upgrade basically. And as a reminder, we use Suricata to implement a layer 7 network policy feature where we redirect traffic to the Suricata engine, applies L7 protocol aware rules, and then either drop the traffic in Suricata or return the traffic back to the Antrea data path for further processing. And so I realized that we were actually doing the wrong thing when logging was enabled for a layer 7 network policy rule. Because basically we're supposed to be logging the packet in the Suricata logs, logging the packet that caused the traffic to be dropped, sorry. So that's a packet from the client to the server that didn't match any of the L7 roles allowing traffic through. But I realized when I decoded this packet is in base 64. So I decoded it to hexadecimal and then translated it to the actual packet meaning. I realized that this was actually a packet that was sent from the server to the client, and it's actually the not even sent by the server, it's actually the reset packet, which is generated by Suricata when the rule is violated. And you can actually see this because the source IP is actually the server's IP and the dest IP is the client IP. So basically, we're not logging the original HTTP request in this case. We're actually logging the reset packet, TCP reset packet, which is sent by Suricata because the packet doesn't match any of the rules letting traffic through. And so that's not very helpful at all to be logging this packet. I think the whole point of logging the packet is it should be logging the packet that triggered the rule violation, which is initial HTTP GET request in this case. And so I pointed it out to Chue, and I think Chue is on the call, so feel free to chime in. But basically, Chue did some investigation, and my understanding is she didn't really find a way to fix it, and that it's actually a known issue in Suricata that the first packet is not going to be included in the log because by the time you generate the log, kind of like you've already moved past that stage, and essentially that packet is no longer available. But she also pointed out that by modifying the global Suricata configuration, so not the per role configuration, but the global configuration, it's possible to include a packet dump essentially in every alert log, which means that the correct packet dump would always be available. So apparently it's a slightly different mechanism, but it would give us access to the packet dump. And that would essentially make the enable logging configuration that we have for policy roles, and in this case, L7 roles, it would make it like obsolete and useless because essentially all the flows would come with a packet dump in the logs, and there would be no way to toggle this on and off for specific roles. And the downside, I guess, maybe a little bit more overhead for some traffic because we're always going to be logging a packet dump. So yeah, Chuim, did I miss something, or is that the result of your investigation?
Yes, that's the result.
So essentially, if there is no way to implement enable logging properly with Suricata, the proposal was actually to deprecate that field in the API and potentially modify the Suricata configuration so that we always include a packet dump. So I just wanted to see how people felt about deprecating the enable logging field for L7 network policy rules.
Just want to check, do we still have the application layer log? This is the packet, right? Do we still have an alert entry for saying that the HTTP request is being rejected?
Yes, but the alert it doesn't include any HTTP data. Let me find it for you. Yeah, when the packet is dropped, the rule that's involved is I don't know if you remember, but I pointed that out in the PR where I was upgrading to Suricata 7. The rule which is causing the traffic to be dropped is a generic TCP rule. And because the enforcement of the rule doesn't depend on the HTTP application layer data, if you look at the log generated by Suricata, you will see that there is no HTTP data. All we know is that the application protocol is HTTP, but we don't know what the request, the actual request was. And if you compare it to a log for traffic which is allowed, when traffic is allowed, it's because it's matching a specific HTTP rule. It's not the default TCP drop rule. And in this case, you can see that we have like the HTTP app layer data here, including the method and request URL and so on.
So that's an intended behavior for Suricata, that the rejected request will not be the application content of the rejected request will not be logged, or it's
yeah, because it's a TCP rule, and so
okay.
To evaluate that rule, they don't actually need to parse the HTTP data. It turns out that in Suricata 6, this application data was included, but it was a bug and it wasn't always producing the correct results, especially when you had multiple HTTP transactions per TCP connection or something like this. And so when they patched it, that behavior was no longer the behavior that I observed when I upgraded to Suricata 7. And I discussed it with them, and they told me, yeah, essentially that's the intended behavior, because that role is a TCP role and not a HTTP role.
Okay.
If you replace the reject role by something that matches on the request path, then you will see, if I remember correctly, the HTTP metadata included in the event log. Because in that case, it's available because you need to actually parse the HTTP payload.
I see.
I actually have a normal. Yeah, that's actually the issue I opened with them, and they replied. So feel free to take a look. The link is in the PR where I upgraded Suricata to Suricata 7. So apart from that, any comments on deprecating enable logging? I just wanted to point out that enable logging already works differently from how it works for L4 roles, right? Because in L4 roles, we punt the packet to the Antrea agent, and then the Antrea agent writes the packet to a file. And so when we use enable logging in L7 policy roles, then the packet is encoded like this, and it doesn't go. I mean, it's a completely different mechanism, right? It doesn't get logged in the file that's maintained by Antrea. Instead, we rely on Suricata to log it.
It just occurred to me that by enable logging, Antrea still logs the L4 traffic and uses redirect as the result.
Oh, so we still log it, but we don't log any L7 data. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we just
Okay.
log the L4 data in Antrea.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that's meaningful behavior. So based on that observation, Shui, do you think we should keep enable logging then, and then just update the documentation, and also like enable packet logging in the Suricata global configuration? Is that what you think we should do?
Do you think it works to keep enable logging and just log it with Antrea L4 information, and then remove this wrong L7 information, replace it with the packet information in alert? That would be enabled for all rules.
Yeah, do you think you can update your PR so we can see what it looks like?
Yeah, I can update it in this way.
Okay.
Just to confirm, do we still add a new configuration for dumping Suricata logs? What was the proposal?
Packets for dumping packets in every alert.
Oh, in every alert. So will we still see the allow logs, the one with application layer information?
Yes, the packets is just one addition to the alert.
Oh, okay, so basically we just add a global configuration for all alerts. Okay, I see.
Do you think we should add a global configuration, or do you think we should just do it unconditionally?
Not sure the cost of this configuration. Perhaps I assume that this may have some cost, right? Perhaps use don't expect it. I feel if every packet and every session will be logged.
Well, I don't think it should be every packet. I mean, sure, maybe you can confirm, but there should only be like one packet logged for each like log message, right? For each message that's logged by Suricata in the logs, right? So for example, we already log every HTTP request, like here, right? We already log every HTTP request, so we'll just get a new field with the packet data. I think the cost must be neglectable, right? Because at this point, we've already like parsed the packet, parsed the HTTP data, whereas the packet we're gonna log is just like the first, I don't know, 100 bytes of the packet in binary format. So I don't know if we can evaluate the cost, but I would imagine it's pretty small.
Maybe we could use some request generator to see that if we have this configuration on, will it affect the TPS? If it's minor, then maybe we could just do it by default. If it's significant, maybe we should have a flag, global flag.
Yeah, that's a good point. What do you use usually? Do you use AB or something like this for testing?
Yeah, AB or yeah, AB should work. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Yeah, then Salvatore, I think that's all for Q and I.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, Chia. Thanks, Antonin. And I also believe that this might be all for today, unless you have anything else that you want to bring up. Anybody?
Just a quick announcement if someone has missed it, that we've lost our sponsored OSS status on Docker Hub for the Antrea organization. Hopefully it's a temporary loss, because it means that all the images that we have on Docker Hub in that organization are now rate limited for pools, which has been disrupting CI and could like disrupt Antrea users as well. We're trying to pull the Antrea images. I got a notification from Docker today that they received my updated application to restore the status. And yeah, hopefully they can get back to me soon, and we can get back our sponsored OSS status.
Thanks. By the way, did our status simply expire, or did they cancel for any reason?
That's what they say. It's very annoying because you have to resubmit the same form every 6 months, and then they don't send a reminder as far as I know.
I see.
I know I submitted the form in March, but maybe if you calculate, maybe that takes you to 6 months and the status expired. But I do know for a fact that I didn't get a reminder to resubmit. So I don't, but at the same time, they told me that I shouldn't just send the application without being prompted by a reminder, and they don't send a reminder. So I'm not sure what the right approach here.
Okay, so their approach is that you have to lose your status for a week every 6 months.
Yeah, basically. So we'll see.
Okay, thanks, Antonin. And well, if that is all for today, then I would like to wish everybody a great evening or a good afternoon, and we'll meet again in 2 weeks' time. Thanks for attending, and the meeting is over. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
all.
Thank you.
Bye.